Hi, everyone. I'm back. Turn on your lovely cameras, please, so I can see your faces. Da, da, da. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. So we are slowly moving along in the text. And we're just we just finished, we're in the middle of a discussion on what are all the conditions that we need to start a meditation practice. So we've just gotten all the benefits. We've gotten the sales pitch from Pabonka Rinpoche. And it basically was like, you need shamatha for everything. If you want your practice to be good, you need shamatha. If you want to have the realizations of Lam Rim, you have to have shamatha. If you want to do anything meaningful with your life, basically what he says, you have to have shamatha. And so in doing so, he then starts us out on what we need to do to make a meditation practice successful. Like, what are the things that we need to set up ahead of time? And the funny thing is, when we go through all of this, we're like, oh, let's get the right conditions in place, right? Let's have a safe place. Let's have a good location. Let's have all of these things, a place without a lot of noise and all this stuff. We can do all of these things, but I want you all to remember that doing all these things really comes down to one thing. And what is that one thing? Kathy said it very nicely. Your seeds, right? It's basically your seeds, right? If you're going to be able to meditate in a quiet place, do you have the seeds for it to be quiet? Do you have the seeds for your mind to be able to get quiet? Do you have the seeds for your senses to shut down so you don't hear those things? Because anyone who's done any significant retreat will tell you that you could find the quietest place and then you'll start hearing things you've never heard before, like the blood pumping through your ears. Or you'll start hearing noise. You just start hearing things you've never heard before. Your senses become so subtle. Then all of a sudden you're like, wait, I didn't know my body made those noises. And then those noises become distraction for the meditation. You see? So unless you have the seeds for meditation to work, you'll then be distracted by the weird noises your body makes. Okay. So all of these advices are perfect advices and they're great advices. But we also have to remember, what are the seeds we need to plant to be able to have a good meditation in the first place. All right. So let's do a quick review. Let's get the right text up here. Here's my projected text, and here's my notes that you can't see. All right. So this was quoted in last class. It's from one of Asanga's books that he took dictation from Lord Maitreya. And here's a general translation. It's not finished yet. And we talked about this, but I want to go through the 5 things that we need, because we only started Oops, that's a 4. This is a 5. There's these 5 things. So the first condition, there's 6 conditions for meditation. And we are in the first one. All right. And in the first one, it has 5 parts, a perfect Galupa list, right? So 6 conditions for meditation. And then there are 5 parts to the first one. And so the 5 things we need for a place, like you need to select a place where you're going to meditate. The first one was the things you need for your meditation, for your retreat, should be easy to obtain. And then we went through some details on that. Mainly, they should be obtained in a way that is ethical. They shouldn't be stolen. And the people that you're getting them from also should be ethical people as well. It should be a safe place. And it should be a good location. So we're in the middle of what a safe place is. That we got to number 2. And we're going to learn the difference between a safe place and a good location. You should have a lot of friends nearby. You should have some good companions. And we'll talk about what that means. And then it should be overall conducive to meditation itself. So we're going to get into what all of those mean. So we're in the middle of number 2. It should be a safe place. We're actually at the end of it. So let's read. Let's see who's here and would like to read. And some of you hide behind your cameras, and some of you do not. How about Ludmila? No, you don't want to try? No? Okay. I'll give you 1 week. I'll give you 1 week off. Okay, you can practice 1 more week and then next week. Okay. Or I'll give you an easy sentence. How about Cornelia? Are you translating? No. Here we go. Let's start here. Do you want to try, Cornelia, please? Just make some noises. Nope. She's resisting. All right, we're going to go to Marina because I know she won't resist.
Okay. Nerlama Shikla Senki Chene Lak Nie Peraptar In Rang Do Nesumenin Nena Chir Mi Dro Parcham Poi tap ki koi gyu du tal chepa gelche.
Nice. Good job. All right. So where we are in this is we were talking about a safe place, and we were talking about a place that's free of robbers and dangerous animals and, I don't know, negative spirits. And then it also said that it was sort of this warning that if you don't have pride and think that you're really strong and go to a place that has negative spirits or any of these things and think that you're not going to be harmed. Okay, so the main thing is, so we're basically saying is try to find the safest place, but don't have pride and think you'll be the only one who won't have problems. Okay, that's where we were. So we started here at this point, and this is the very, very end of this section. And it's a little story that Pabon Rinpoche told us. So basically here that there was once a lama who did this, right? And he went to an unsafe area and was harmed by one of these powerful spirits. Okay, basically he's saying even a high lama can get hurt by these spirits. And Paboka Rinpoche, they say that he himself was harmed by spirits later in his life, and you can see it in his body, a before and after picture of it. And there's really a nice little side note here. Then he says, if you find yourself in a place that has one of these spirits, okay, that you shouldn't just try to kick it out. Like you shouldn't try to be mean to it, but rather, what does Jampo mean? How about, who's Jampa? What's that?
It's love.
It's love, yes. You should have love for them. You should treat those spirits kindly. You should, and don't try to kick them out, but have compassion and kindness for them. And that will subdue them. That will duel them. All right. So basically what you're trying to do is calm their minds, not so much like kick them out. Now, when you're doing a deep retreat, we do have some practices where we do set up boundary markers and make strong requests that the negative spirits leave. It's a very powerful practice. But we also give them offerings. So we're saying, oh, here you go. We make a nice little cake, nice little torma cake, what we call them. And then we make offerings and we ask them to leave the space while we're doing that meditation. Or we're doing that retreat, rather. So really the main thing is that, first of all, don't go to places that have lots of spirits, although Diamond Mountain is an interesting place for that. Secondly, if you do have them, be kind to them. In the 1,000, what is it called? The 1,000 Stories of Milarepa, something like that. Basically, that's how he teaches us to deal with these negative forces in our life. Don't fight them. Bring them cakes. Bring them offerings. Befriend them. Take care of them. And in fact, there's a whole thing about for beings that aren't able to receive love can appear in a very disgusting way or in a very wrathful way. Like that's one of the appearances that, for example, Yamantaka takes for beings who aren't able to handle love. It is a form of love, but they see it in a wrathful, evil kind of way. And so it actually can scare them. Nice little story for Valentine's Day. Don't be afraid of love. Don't be afraid to give love. All right. Okay, next line. How about, who would like to read that? Here's a short one. How about Anastasia?
Hello. Sadzam wa shetsa rangina mi
Nay.
ne mi ke chin sachu chopa. Okay.
Nice. Okay, so that previous line ended the section on the very first section, which was, second one. It should be a safe place. All right. Here's one line that describes the third thing. It should be a good location. Okay. And what does this mean? Is, a satsang, a sangsawa. Okay. First of all, it should be a place where you don't get sick. All right. Meaning it's a place that doesn't, maybe you don't get, I don't know, maybe lots of allergies, for example, or it doesn't cause a lot of sickness. And then it's not too hot and it's not too cold. Okay. Hold on a second. I had a brain fart here. That's what I thought. Okay. So here's hot, Trang is cold, right? So it shouldn't be a place that's too hot or too cold, meaning don't go to Diamond Mountain in July. Not good for meditation. You know, don't go to Norway unless you have heat, or don't go to Siberia for meditation in the wintertime unless you can take care of it. So that's the first thing. A good location should not have a place that doesn't get you sick, where it's not too hot or too cold. And then the second part is that it says the word sa and chu. Do you guys know what sa and chu mean? Sa chu me lung? Yoga Sutra, YSI, 4 elements. Anyone out there today?
Chu is water,
Chu is water, yeah.
the element of water.
Yeah, so chu is water, sa is sa
Earth.
chu. What did you say?
It's earth.
Earth, right. Exactly, right, yeah. So basically it's saying where the way that Geshe said, I mean, basically this says where the earth and water elements are healthy for us. And Geshe glossed this by saying that it's the environment. Like, you go to a place where it doesn't get you sick, and that the environment itself is healthy for you, right? Obviously, the water to drink is healthy, right? The earth itself is healthy. You know, you don't want to go to a place where the water poisons you, for example. You know, and you can actually feel these things in the meditation retreat. Like, you can feel what's happening on the land and things like that. So the main thing about a good location for your meditation is that keeps you healthy. I mean, you don't get sick there. It's not too hot, not too cold. And, you know, that the environment is healthy, like it's being taken care of. And it's similar to the previous one about that there's an ethic to the area, right? Where people take care of the land. People take care of the environment there. Like, if you try to meditate in a place that's dirty, where there's trash everywhere, people don't respect the area, you can feel that, and it feels unethical, and then your meditation isn't going to be as good. Of course, how do you find a place where things are ethically taken care of? The stuff that you get is honestly acquired. The land itself is taken care of. Like, how do you create that karmically? Okay, get it? All right, next line. That was condition number 3, a good location. Just one line. How about, all of you are translating. How about Laura Bordera? Laura, I hear you're in Barcelona. Is that true? Nope, still can't hear you.
Hey, no?
Yeah, so you're in Barcelona right now?
Yes, here I am. Oh, close to Barcelona, in a little village on the coast.
I hear you're going to be visiting with a bunch of friends this weekend, Alona and Anastasia
Yes.
and others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, will be nice. Hope so.
Send me pictures. Alona invited me this weekend, and I'm like, I can't go to Barcelona for 5 days.
Next time.
Next time. Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
next line.
Chokyeng.
Mhm.
Pa. Yotum pa. Tang.
Chut.
Chut patang.
Mhm.
Chokte. Chokte yang. Ripma. Nik pai. Chok tang. La chik tu. Chet chung pa.
Ches.
Ches chung pa.
Nice.
Ches chung pa.
Nice. Good job. Okay, so this is the next one, and this is all about the friends that you should have around you. You know, and this is really important. You know, it's really difficult. I don't know, some of you might live far away from other practitioners. It is really, really good to have meditation friends nearby. So what does this say? Our friends, our companions, should have views that are similar to ours. They should also they should also act similarly to us. Okay, they should be, if all of your friends are out drinking and partying all night long, and you're trying to do practice, right? It's going to be a hard thing to do. Maybe later on you'll have the strength to be able to go out to parties and dance all night long and make it your Dharma practice. But that's a different story. So your friends should have views similar to you in your meditation friends should have similar views to you, and they should act like you. All right. And then there's a quote here. Geshe Sungpa. Okay. And the quote is here. Dripani Nipe Droktan Lechiktu. All right. We should be meditating with those who are like our second shadow. All right. Our friends should be like our second shadow, right? And so all we get in this text is, oh, there's a line. It is said somewhere, it is said somewhere that we should meditate with those who are like our second shadow. And look, I didn't do this research. This was done by Geshe Lam when he originally did it. So first of all, the line is in a commentary on Chakrasamvara, and it's also in De Lam. Who wrote De Lam? Those of you who are taking De Lam right now. You're not allowed to go back to that class unless you know who wrote it.
Jetson Kappa.
No, you're fired.
Lobsan Chucky Gelson.
Lobsan Chubby Gelson, thank you. Lobs Chubby Gelse. Gina, that's close. I think you might need to learn how to spell it, but I like that as a name. All right, that's fine. Okay. He also says it as well. So what does it mean to have someone there who's your second shadow? And Pabonka Rinpoche explains it. Who would like to read next? Oh my goodness. Christian, are you translating? Fine. How about Jampa? Can you read?
Geshe Lam Rim Chi Paga Gapa Do Mi Fra Reda Ro Me Palat.
Nice. Okay. Got the rhythm down really well. Nice. Good work. All right. So what does this mean and what doesn't it mean? So in the quote, let's go back here. All right. Dripa ni, right? There's this ni here that you could mean it as like two shadows, right? Or a second shadow. And it's not really 100%, you can misinterpret it. So what it doesn't mean, Drokina le mepa tang, right? First of all, it doesn't mean that you should not have more than two friends, right? Okay. First of all, it doesn't mean, only have two friends, right? Nor does it mean that we should be by ourselves, right? You should only meditate with your second shadow, or should only be by yourself. That's not what it means. What it does mean, though, is that you should find meditation companions who are like-minded as you. Just like your shadow is to you. So like when you get up to go to the, I don't know, go to the refrigerator, right? Your shadow follows you, right? Your shadow doesn't stay in your bedroom when you walk to the refrigerator. Your shadow goes with you to the refrigerator and does whatever you do, right? So if you're going to the refrigerator and eating unhealthy food, your shadow is with you the whole time. So the idea here with your meditation friends is that your friends are with you like your shadow, not that they follow you around, but that they are as like-minded as you, right? So if you're someone who's like, hey, let's get up and meditate in the morning at 7 a.m. on Saturdays, they're like, yeah, let's do it. Or you're like, hey, let's go do our sadhana practice before dinner. Yeah, let's go do it, right? And so there you have friends who are encouraging you to do the things that you should be doing and mainly discouraging you from doing the things you shouldn't be doing, right? And if you have a group of people who are practicing together, then you're supporting each other, right? And they should be with you. And they should be with you, you know. And the next line I think is really beautiful as well. Let's go. How about Jolene?
La tang po pa ko me chi po du pa yong
Hyun,
yong che pa
Che Wei,
che wei gro sum la mi
Lei.
yong le mi yong ba tam.
Nice. Good, nice, Jolene. Thank you. All right. Now we're going to get some numbers. Druk sum. How many druks are there? Sum. What does sum mean?
3.
Nice. You couldn't figure it out. Those 3 friends. And what Paboka Rinpoche is saying here is that when you're first starting your meditation practice, you shouldn't be doing it alone because it'll create some big problems. But rather, you should have at least 3 friends who are meditating with you. All right. So the idea, you know, that I wish I had gone to the store last night, but when I was preparing to it was too late. But let me see if I can do this. Okay, we can do this. It's not the perfect example. All right. One second. All right. This is not the best example, but you guys can figure it out. Okay. All right. Pretend this is a pencil. Okay, this is a stick of incense. All right. Right, some nag champa, right? You're starting out your meditation practice. Right? And it's challenging, right? When you first start, it's hard. And let me tell you, it doesn't matter if you're experienced, like if the seeds change, it can get difficult. Like that's why having friends is wonderful. I've been meditating for 15 to 20 years now. And I still meditate with friends from time to time, not always, but it keeps me, you know, it gives me the motivation, or it helps me get over some of the problems that come up in meditation. So this is this is your brain. This is you. It's kind of hard to see. All right. Okay. This is you by yourself meditating for the first time. Ready? Oh, that was so easy to break, right? Now, let's hope that I don't break all of these. Okay. Now I have all the incense sticks. All right. With one, it was easy to break, right? Now have all of them. They smell. I'm waiting for the day when you can put smells through Zoom. Right? It smells really good. Now, if I try to break all of these together, it's going to be much more difficult. Right? So as I'm putting the pressure on, I'm putting so much more pressure on right now. And look, they're not breaking. Right? So these are all your friends together. Okay? And hopefully they smell good. You should take a shower before you meditate with your friends. All right? Why? Because your senses get better. And you'll start smelling your friends. No. But when you're meditating with friends, it is much stronger when you're doing it together than if you're doing it by yourself. That actually worked. Okay, good. All right. So he says at least 3 friends. But it doesn't mean you can have you can have as many as you want. You can have 100 people in the room. Of course, the more people you have, you have to get, there's more chances of coughing and movement and all these other things as well. So get yourself some really good friends who are really committed and meditate together. Right? Persis asks, even 5 minutes. Yes, even 5 minutes. Just sit for 5 minutes. It smells really good. So find your friends. You can even meditate on Zoom. I don't see why not. I mean, you're learning classes on Zoom. I don't see why you couldn't do it that way. Get some friends together and meditate. That's what Pamuk is saying. All right. Oh, I just told you what the next line says. Oops. Haha. Okay. How about Kathy? Here's a short line for you. Lake, nice. Young Lake. So if you can, how to, I didn't write that really well. Find a group of people who have similar aspirations. Chutung, okay? If you can find a group of people who have similar Dharma aspirations, the more you can get, the better. Drokmang Young Lake. All right? Many friends, the better. The more friends you can bring together, the better. So Persis, since you're my friend, I'm going to have you read the next line. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was highlighting the wrong text. You guys didn't see. Here's your Dharma aspirations. Drokmang, many friends, the better. Sorry about that. All right, go ahead, Persis.
Mang yak chu ta yong mek son na si yo wa rek
Chi Yorwa.
chi yo wa rek la tang dok ni ki
Good key. Good key. 10 good key.
cookie.
It sounds like cookie. It's like a cookie, but good key. Nice. All right. There's a whole section here that it kind of explains what's going on here. No matter how many friends you have, okay, while you're in meditation, okay, while you're all hanging out, if you look out of the corner of your eye, if you were to look out of the corner of your eye, all right, you would only see hardcore practitioners. You would only see heavy practitioners. Okay. What does this mean? Okay. So like, if you're sitting around, right? And, and you're just like, trying to spy on people. right? And you're kind of like, you're hoping no one sees, right? You're just like looking out of the corner of your eye, like looking out, all of your friends are around. You should only have the people who are heavy. They should only be heavy. They should be hardcore practitioners. Like, of course, that's not the word in Tibetan exactly, but the word is heavy, and meaning that they should be completely dedicated. Like if you had to choose between, I don't know, a dance party and a sadhana practice, they'd be like, let's do our sadhana. Although your dance party could be a sadhana. If you're having, you want to have people around you who are just like, we're going to do it. Like every morning when I'm at the cafe, Rob Haggerty comes in and he opens up his book and he fills out his book for his 6 times a day book practice. Fills it out first thing in the morning, over coffee. And I see it all the time. And I'm like, oh, look, he's a hardcore practitioner. He reminds me about it. I'm in a Telegram group that sends me the text, that sends me the the vows every 2.5 hours, and I get a notification, and it's private. No one gets to see my responses, right? That works for me today. Before I write it down, then I'll go back to writing it down to make it make sense. But I see people around me doing their practice. Like out of the corner of my eye, everyone around me is a hardcore practitioner, right? And that's who you surround yourself with. Is there an app for that? There is an app for that, Jackie. Write me and I will send it to you. It costs $4.99 a month. And it's in Telegram. It's nice. Where was I? Yes. So the idea of getting yourself ready for meditation is I think in general, what this means is, who do you surround yourself with? What kinds of people do you have? Are you surrounding yourself with people who are inspiring to your practice? Or are you surrounded with people that make your practice difficult? And that's really when your seeds start changing, you'll start seeing everybody as a practitioner anyway. So that gets fun. But, in the beginning, find yourself with a community who supports what your aspirations are. If you want to be an entrepreneur, do you surround yourself with a bunch of lazy people? I mean, you could. I mean, if you want to run a business, do you surround yourself with people who every single night they go out to happy hour, and then they go out and dance, and then they get home at 10:30, and then they get up the next morning and go to work, right? I'm not saying going out to a dance party is a bad thing. Okay, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that if you want to be an entrepreneur, you're going to have to be working many, many extra hours. You have to be healthy. You have to be dedicated. Your mind has to be clear. You're not going to be able to do that if you're going out every night drinking. Right? Same with meditation. If you surround yourself with people who are not mindful and are not trying to improve themselves, it's really hard to improve yourself because you won't have anyone to talk to and share with. It's really hard to hang out with people who are not in a personal or they're not into self-development, right? It's really hard to talk to someone about your process if they're not into that themselves. What? She fell down and she's crying because she jumped up on the bed and missed. She's too heavy. She's not a hardcore practitioner. She's too heavy because she has too much food. All right, let's move on. Okay. What's next? Oops, I said that as well. I gave the commentary. Wonderful. Here we go. Next line. Who wants to read? How about Ina? give you a short line. We're moving on to the next folio. Yay, we finished 2. We finished 2 folios. Yay. All right, Ina Shestatova. Shestova. How do you pronounce your last name?
Inna Shvetsova.
Shestova. Thank you. Thank you.
Bulgarian bak me ya pe rok la mi ten
How do we say this word?
yepa
Chepe. Chepa.
sorry.
Chepe. Good. Basically, what this says is don't rely on friends who are not serious about their practice. Don't hang out with the lightweights. Only hang out with the heavyweights, which is what we just said. Okay. That's the whole section on friends. Let's move on to what's conducive. This is the overall, this is the last one, which is overall what is conducive to meditation itself. All right, here we go. Who has not read yet? Who wants to read? Who's not hiding? How about Heidi?
Okay. Sam tan cheat, no? Cheatse,
Yeah, Giser.
gise, mani, skrata, no,
Dradak.
dradak, inpe, yes, chun, no,
She Sung Ba.
she sung pa, shin, yin, momi, dang, san mo, yit dang, na, chus, skras, sok, yang met per, dog.
Good, nice. Okay. Thank you, Heidi, for just making noises. That's how we learn.
Thank you.
Good job. Your reading's getting much better, even just after a couple of weeks. All right, so the ancient texts, there's another quote that says, meditation, sound. What's a serma? Does anyone know what a serma is? It's a thorn. A serma is a thorn. The thorn of meditative concentration is sound. All right. So the ancient text says that, you know, it's a great expression. The thorn in your side for your meditation practice is sound itself. All right. So what does it say about this? First of all, what's a ninmo? There's something that rises every day and then sets every day.
It's linked with the sun.
Yeah, it's linked with the sun. It means daytime. Right, good job.
Oh, okay.
So during the day, you should avoid the annoying sounds of humans. Okay, doesn't say annoying, but you can you know, the hustle and bustle of human life. You should avoid those sounds. And then in the senmo, what's the opposite of ninmo?
In the nighttime.
Night, exactly. So in the nighttime, you should avoid things like ki. What's a ki? the woof, the sounds of dogs. Okay. Right. So at night, you should avoid the sounds of dogs, running water, we guess, and any other similar nighttime cacophonies. All right. So like imagine the noises of night in a jungle, or where there's lots of crickets, or any kind of thing that makes noises at night. Barking dogs, running water, any kind of random noises, right? So the text is telling us to avoid the hustle and bustle, like cars and yelling. And if you go into New York City, like you'll hear the noises of people all day long and all night long as well. So avoid those sounds, right? What I do is I wear earplugs, and I have a fan, and I have a fan in the other room, which creates a sound barrier. Then I put earplugs in, and I can block out the sound of the fan, because it's just one noise. It's just one sound, right? I've been able to block it out, right? So then I don't hear the other noises of the cars going down the street, or creates like a sound bubble for me, right? Like this little sound barrier that I can't hear what's beyond it. And then I go in and I can't hear anything until I start hearing the pumping of the blood in my ears, which the earplugs help with. So you got to figure it out yourself. These are just some notes on that. All right. Let's read the next line here. This is a little story. So this is a conducive place for meditation. How about Persis? Shh, don't call me. Sorry. Wait, Persis, you already read, didn't you? You already read. Okay. Well, I mean, I can call on you again. But let's see who else has not read yet. How about Natalia? Yes, that one.
So long. Dak ye lamas.
That's
No.
Lame. Not Lame.
Lama.
Yeah.
Sung. Pa. Tar.
Go.
Gomri. Don. La. Sos.
To some.
Sam. Ye. Gro. Dogs. Chotpa. Dan. Kang. Grants. Greeks. Pani. De why yo. Piat. Dan. Paste.
But let's just pause right there. Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Ewa yoche
Yoche.
denpate. Good.
Danpate.
Okay. So this says Daki Lame. It says my lama. Who are we referring to? What's that? Let's be more specific.
Pabonkas Lama Trijang Rinpoche.
Flip him around.
Oh, Pabonka Rinpoche.
Right. Trijang Rinpoche is the one who wrote the text, and Pabonka Rinpoche was his teacher. So basically say, my Lama used to say, actually, we need this sentence in here. Okay. My Lama used to say about this last one, which is this right here. Dewa Yoche Denpa, the conducive place, the good place for meditation. It has what does conducive mean? Is that you become familiar with your meditation practice, and you have clear what you're going to be meditating on, because you tusam. What does tusam mean? We learned it in first class.
Study and contemplate.
No, to doesn't mean study, but it implies study. It means to listen.
Listen.
So you're listening to classes and then you're contemplating on them. So you've listened to lots of classes. You've contemplated on it. You've thought about it. Now you're getting ready to meditate. So you're clear on what you're going to meditate on. And you're familiar with all aspects of meditation, which is why we're going through this at an extremely slow turtle pace. Okay. We're going through this super slow so that you can tusam about all of it. So you can learn all of it, you can think about it, and then you're going to go. Then you're going to meditate. All right. This next line, how about Elika?
Dam Dag Giblamas Zungsbaltar Zong
sorry, Elika, next line, starting here.
Riktu Skrodogs Jodpadang Rang Krigspani Deyang Bang Dang Reid Dang Dwesongs Dang Dong Gogs Kyang Krigspa Dang.
Good, excellent, nice work. Okay, so moreover,
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was excellent. Good job. The first time's the scariest. It gets better. So moreover, good. Good job. Thank you. So you also need to. Thank you. So apart from knowing what your meditation practice should be, having clear on what to meditate on, you have no doubts about that. You also need all the necessary, and this is more for when you do your deep retreats in the Diamond Way. You need to have all the empowerments. You should have all the instructions from your teachers. You should know all the examples, all the things you need to know about what good meditation is, etc. Meaning you need to have everything else, like your sadhanas. You have to have everything ready to go. All right, and we're going to end with we'll see if we get through it. Well, we'll get through this. That there's a story that came from. So Geshe Michael was taught this book 3 times, and his teacher Ken Rinpoche told him this story, and the story that he. Why is my face so big? Hold on a second here. Something zoomed in wrong. There we go. So Ken Rinpoche told him this story, and Trijang Rinpoche told Ken Rinpoche, and Pabonka Rinpoche told Trijang Rinpoche. So there's a lineage of this story, which is not written in the book, but it's a story from Tibet. So mainly, a guy, he has a big gun. He's part of an army, and he's going to war. All right. So hopefully you'll remember this. You'll remember why you have to be ready for meditation. So he's going to war, and he's running to the battlefield, right? He's going towards the battlefield. And all of a sudden, while he's on his way to the battlefield, he realizes he has to go to the bathroom. Okay, normal thing. You know, you got to run somewhere and you're like, oh, dang, I got to go to the bathroom, right? So he's like, hold on a second, you know, they'll wait for me, right? So he goes into the outhouse, you know, he puts his gun down and he does his business, right? And then while he's, you know, in the outhouse doing his thing, you know, he's probably looking at his Instagram, right? That's not part of the story, but he's probably looking at his Instagram because nobody goes to the bathroom alone anymore, right? You always have somebody with you. So he's hanging out with his Instagram. And off in the distance, he starts hearing gunfire, right? He's like, oh shit, right? Okay, that's an English expression, purposely put in this moment. And he pulls up his pants and he runs off to the battlefield. Right, he gets to the battlefield and he's like, hey guys, I'm here. And then they start shooting and he's like, shit, I left my gun in the outhouse, right? And these guys are shooting at him and he gets scared and he poops. All right. Okay. They scared the shit out of him, literally. Okay. He pooped. He's so scared that he pooped. All right. So he has to go run back to get his gun. All right. So what's the moral of the story? He shot where he was supposed to poop, and he pooped where he was supposed to shoot. Okay. What does it mean? It means you have to be ready for your meditation. You have to bring in what you need. Be prepared. Don't dawdle, right? Don't get distracted. You know, be prepared with everything that you need for meditation. It's kind of a funny story. We'll leave the last 2 lines for next week, which will serve as a review. So thank you all for coming. And I have a little announcement to make. Next week, we will have a guest translator teacher. Every once in a while, we're going to bring somebody in so you can get a different perspective on things. And next week, you're going to have the amazing Venerable Upala continue on with the Lam Rim. So please come. Don't embarrass me. Turn on your cameras. And for the love of seeds, please don't, if she asks you what Lam Rim means, don't mess it up. If you learn one thing, remember what Lam Rim means, okay? All right, so next week, you're gonna have Venerable Upala here with you. Continuing with the Lam Rim. Thank you all very much for joining. Thank you, translators. Thank you, recorders. Thank you, all the people managing things in the background. And yeah, thank you all for joining. Hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Hope you have a hot date tonight. And as I said on the other class, if you remember why you have a hot date, it makes the date hotter. Get it? And if you don't have a hot date, take yourself out and love yourself, because we just don't have enough of that in the world. So I hope you have a wonderful, happy Valentine's Day. I love you all. And let's say goodbye.
Please stay.
Bye, thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good night.
谢谢老师，
Happy Valentine's Day.
谢谢大
Valentine's Day.
家。
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Thank you so much.
Спасибо, Тим. Пока.
Thanks all translator.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Им спасибо большое.